We come together in the spirit of exploration, both of our own inward explorations and the explorations of others, which may help illumine our own. May we be blessed for our choice to see the spiritual other in ourselves. May we look to the mirror to see what might still be available for us to learn from, grow through, and by which to become empowered. Namaste.
We light this chalice to symbolize our growth, our good fortune, our safety. Nothing is secure in this world. Nothing is a sure thing. But in faith and intention we strive just the same. May our journey be forever blessed.
The ritual of walking across hot coals, or firewalking, is a spiritual act recorded as far back as the Iron Age, but comes from traditions much older than written records. It's a rite of passage, a test of strength and of faith. One walks barefoot across a lengthy pad of red-hot burning embers, hopefully unburned. If done carefully, one's feet will not burn. It's often assumed to be a great feat of the mind to manage to essentially walk in fire and escape unharmed. And there is physics which explains why it works. But it is still a great feat of the mind. One must remain calm, firm, but not forceful. If you run across hot coals, you'll sink into the embers and burn your feet. If you walk too soon before the coals are ready, they will have too much water still in the wood and will burn your feet. If you've not carefully prepared the surface, nails or other metal might be present and will burn your feet. So what do we think about that? When faced with this idea as a metaphor, what might we conclude? Where in our lives do we deliberately walk across hot coals or are compelled to by circumstance? Where in our lives do we avoid it when we know that that's what's best for us? When do we avoid challenge? all the time. But what if we chose to do it on purpose? When have we decided for ourselves that it's worth it to go through a little hardship now for the transformational power that experience holds for us? Who says you're too old to go back to school? Too uncreative to make art? Too weak to climb that hill? Too stupid to know what to do next? What if, despite all these fears, we walked across them anyway? What if we simply agreed to the challenge that always comes with transformation? A study conducted during a firewalking ritual held in the village of San Pedro Manrique in Spain in 2010 showed synchronized heart rate rhythms between the performers of the firewalk and the non-performing spectators. This tells us that there is a physiological basis for collective religious rituals through the alignment of emotional states among participants and witnesses, strengthening group dynamics and forging a common identity among the wider group. It appears that there is an observable physiological relationship occurring among people who are in heightened emotional states together. At least in the instance of the firewalker and spectators anyway, there is a mysterious connection which make their heart rates synchronize. Is that just the tip of the iceberg? Is there a commonality which occurs not only during the ritual of firewalking between spectators and firewalkers, but also by the trials of daily life? By this pandemic? When we see someone's going through a difficult time, how in sync are we with them? Is that the physics of empathy on display? Does this happen only when we're physically near one another, or can it be virtual? Have you ever truly been comforted by someone simply liking your post on Facebook about having to put your dog to sleep? Is it comforting to have someone do something as simple as clicking like? Someone out there saying, "Yeah, I feel you." What does that feel like? Loving something or someone is a transformative process. It changes us from the inside, even though it appears everything's happening on the outside, like firewalking. And also like firewalking, love can often feel like walking across hot coals. If it's not done mindfully and thoughtfully, love can burn. A little over a year ago, we began our global walk together across hot coals, and there are no spectators for this one. We are walking through fire together. I'd like to believe we're coming out better and stronger in the end, but who knows? Everyone will likely have a different opinion about that. What should we do now? This nation, as well, is walking across the additional hotbed of our great racial reckoning right now. We are recalibrating our very nation. We are the direct witnesses of history. Everything before us is in a state of near constant change. We are starting to see the efforts of our work. The moral arc of history bent a little bit more closely toward justice last week. Yet these are not the only exhausting set of changes occurring. Our technology is growing faster than we have the ability to comprehend it. How would a farmer in the 1940s have reacted to the swift changes in technology we see today? What if he had to trade up his tractor at the same speed we'd trade up our smartphones? His head would spin. Our world changes at the speed of that technology, and in its wake are left those who struggle with change. The ground feels like so much unformed lava beneath us. If we stand still, we will burn our feet. What can we do about our trials? How can we both assuage our grief when something bad happens while also remaining open to the very real transformation that occurs nearly every single time it does? The science as well as world spirituality suggests the same thing. Doing it together creates a synchronicity among us. Sharing our personal trials with each other synchronizes us one to another. Think for a moment of your own trials, your own transformations. When things were at their worst, were you alone? I hope not, but it happens. In those moments, were you alone because of circumstance? Did others reject you, or did you shut them out? How often do we exclude people from our own trials, yet are ever so ready to be there for the trials of others? How is that an exchange? How much do we exclude our own well-being while at the same time elevate the well-being of everyone else? Unless we're having the experience together, synchronicity doesn't happen. Empathy is what connects us in shared experience, even if we're not having the same experience. but we cut ourselves off from the blessing of it by keeping a stiff upper lip. Whom do we invite to witness our walk across the hot coals of our lives? Whom do we allow in? We walk across metaphoric burning embers every day of our lives. Transformation is occurring at every moment, even in more normal times than these. Do we allow transformation to drive us, or do we drive our transformations? We are partners with change, don't forget it. Change will adapt to our ability to engage with it, coax it, understand, and commune with it. Transformation does not happen in a vacuum. It happens with deliberate action, but also through apathy. Change will occur with or without your partnership. If you have a mound of clay in front of you, it will eventually change on its own. It'll dry out, become dust again, or perhaps it will simply harden into a rock, incapable of providing any service except as a doorstop or a paperweight. But what if you sat down and deliberately molded it into something beautiful, while that possibility still remained malleable within it? What if you faced the fire and boldly walked through it? What if you assumed that all transformation, when faced with courage and deep intentionality, could be good? Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your neighbor. Witness each other's walks through the challenging parts of our lives and allow others to witness your trials as well. This is the place for it. That is the task of church. If we synchronize our hearts with one another, what might come of it?
Be at ease now and breathe. Find a comfortable position to feel your pulse. Locate it on your wrist or your neck and breathe. For the length of this guided meditation, maintain gentle contact with your pulse. Allow it to become the rhythm of your experience. Focus on the pulsation, the continuous autonomic blessing of our creation, shared in its way with nearly every living creature on the planet. The human heart is thought of as the second mind. In some cultures, it is the first. It does far more than distribute blood throughout our bodies, although that would be sufficient. The heart is a power station of electromagnetic resonance, a measurable beacon, proven to be always listening for the hearts of others, proven to be predisposed toward alignment with the hearts around them, seeking their electromagnetic resonance to join with it. The heart does not perceive prejudice or otherness in the hearts of others. It does not know the color of the skin which houses them. It does not know their resume or their record. It simply knows its beat and automatically seeks to join with it. And breathe. This is a miraculous reality, a fact so astonishing we can scarcely comprehend the implications. But we need not understand the airplane in order to ride in it, or to visit our loved ones by its gift of flight. Turn your attention to your pulse again. And as you do, think about the heartbeat of a loved one or a friend. Picture their heart beating in their chest as yours is now doing. Picture their heart beating in exact alignment with yours. Imagine the sound of the beat doubling in volume. Pick another loved one or a friend. Invite their heart to join the two of yours. The volume increases by a third. One by one, collect now the beats of other hearts. Those of us in this shared congregation, virtually or otherwise. Find them, one by one, to align with yours and the ease which overcomes you as a result of it. And breathe. In your mind, thank every single heart you have invited for being here today, for being with you, for sharing the experience of your heart with them and theirs with you. Send a powerful green healing beam of light directly into theirs. See that light shoot outward in all directions from them toward the hearts which they have invited into their own heartbeat collectives. And breathe. Float backwards now, witnessing the vastness of this green light network, collective by collective, encircling the globe with its healing blessed light, a light begun within you. Enjoy this for a moment as you breathe. Take one final breath and return.